Our systems are fully operational. The power generator is at half capacity and the signal test is showing that it's within a few kilometers, so it must be somewhere in this region.
What do you think our chances are?
Well, if it's what I think it is, pretty good. We should have the tools to get it back up and running. I just need to get there. I'll mention it to the guys when they get back.
Sounds good. I'll put together a medikit with the supplies we have. I just hope they found at least one survivor. I can only imagine what others must be going through.
Yeah, considering everything that has happened, we've been lucky. We have the guys to thank for that. They know what they're doing. I guess it's good to know that all the money our government has spent on the military has finally paid off.
Speak of the devil.
And they shall appear.
Take the supplies you picked up from our friend and put them in storage for now. See if you can find the map we picked up from the military. Tack, stick with the bird. We need to keep her in good condition. Have a look at the fuel lines. Any more leakage and we ain't going anywhere.
Sure thing.
Welcome back, guys. Glad to see you got out of there in one piece. That town would be heaving with infected. Any luck?
No.
We spotted a survivor on the roof of one of the buildings in Vorkuta. We landed and made our way into town, but something got to him before we did. We think he was making a dash for the chopper but didn't make it. We'll discuss it later. How did you go with the radio?
Jesus. Poor guy. We've had some progress with getting our communications back up, and by some I mean minimal. It looks like our receivers connect to a data point fairly close by. The radio tower could have easily been taken out by one of the storms. One of the emissions could have created a surge, and since the tower is a freestanding electrical magnet, if lightning hits it, it would knock out the main routing signal to our receivers, basically causing a power cut. If there's not too much damage, it should be a case of rebooting the power like the flick of a switch, and maybe we can get in touch with anybody left out there, eh?
I hope you're right. We're going to organize a fuel pickup for tomorrow. If there's a tower nearby, we should try our luck in getting it working. See if we can't get our communications lit. If it works, we can send out a message and see if we get a response and hopefully get more information on the situation.
Yeah, sitting out here in the dark with no idea what's going on really takes its toll on the conscience after a while. I think Haryana is starting to feel the stress of it all.
Why? What happened?
Well, we heard some noises coming from the gas station. When we came outside, there was a small gap in the barricade.
Did you see anything?
No, I've patched it up, then searched every square inch of the camp. Nothing got in. My guess? A dog. Probably trying to get to the leftover scraps of food.
Double check the perimeter and search the camp again. I'm not taking any chances. Where is Ariana?
Yes, sir. She's inside.
So do we need to make more accommodation? There's a couple of rooms down by the port. It's not much, but there are some decent views of the ocean. Maybe watching the sunset could lift their spirits.
It's just going to be us. For now anyway.
Oh, I thought for sure there would be people starting to set up camp in the high-rises.
The number of infected have increased. The city is a dangerous place to stay. Being locked in one of those apartments would only hold them back a short while. They'd have to search for water eventually, and once they give up their position, it's game over. The infected won't stop. They're not human anymore.
That's why I wanted to come with you. If I can study someone who has the virus, it might help us understand what this is. I've been a doctor here for 6 years with a background on microbiology. We probably still have all of the patient's files at the surgery.
That will have to wait. I don't want to risk bringing the infection into the camp. Plus, your SIVA suit is not designed for rupture protection.
What about our medical supplies? We haven't stocked up in weeks. If we don't find some soon, we'll be lucky if we only suffer from radiation sickness.
We'll see what we can get on our run at dawn. Reese told me what happened earlier. Are you alright?
Well, I'd feel safer if I knew what was happening around us.
We can only do what we can. But my priority is to keep everyone alive. We're heading to where TAC was stationed before the fallout. Hopefully we'll pick up something useful. So why do they call you TAC? As in thumbtack? Because you have a little prick?
It's short for Tashenko. And if you don't get lost, I'll put several bullets in your brain, without hesitation.
Geez, lighten up. I thought you military type could take a joke.
Annoy someone else. I'm busy.
Guess I'm barking up the wrong tree.
The only tree you'll be looking at will be the one you are hanging from.
Alright, I get it. I'm gonna find Reese. At least he has a sense of humor. How is she looking?
I refixed the fuel line so that should keep us airborne. We've lost some of the status indicators, but other than that, she's in good condition. It wouldn't hurt to keep an eye out for parts.
Okay, good. Reese thinks he can get our communications back on top. We may need to split up. I'll take him to the radio tower. You take Mike to pick up supplies from your base of operations with the truck.
I'd be better alone.
And lift 300-pound barrels of fuel on your own? He may not be the best company, but he'll watch your back.
If he does anything to jeopardize the mission, I'm leaving him behind. Right. Listen. We are currently situated here, at the northwest corner. When day breaks, we will take 2 vehicles. We convoy it to the east tower, where Stanton and Reese will attempt to greenlight our communications. Mike and I will split and head south to my old base of operations to pick up some supplies. After we get what we need, we'll rendezvous at the South Junction and make our way back to camp. Arian up. Stand ground on guard until we return.
You want me to stay here alone? With no weapons?
We need someone to open the gates when we return, and we may bring some unwanted attention back with us.
This is bullshit. How am I supposed to defend the camp?
Now's a good time to learn. We'll make sure you have something to defend yourself with.
It could be the better option. If we pick up any survivors along the way, they'll need medical assistance, and you're the only one here who knows how to deal with that.
And you check the defenses?
Twice. Nothing can get in.
You better get the radio working. I want to know what the hell is going on.
We plan to. It shouldn't take us more than a couple of hours. We'll be back before you know it.
Try and find me something to work with. This virus won't cure itself.
We'll see what we can find. Okay, good. Now, I'm starving. Let's eat.
So you said you found a survivor in town?
Someone had lit a signal fire on the roof of one of the buildings. We landed a few hundred yards from it and started making our way to his location. But something got him before we could.
So the infected are still capable of cognitive decision. They grouped together and attacked him as a pack. I thought he would have been able to outrun them.
This was different. He had puncture marks and little sign of blood loss. Not your typical infected attack. Something that has developed a taste for human blood.
There's an unnerving presence there. I swear something had their eye on us the minute we landed. As if it was hunting us. This thing is not human and has adapted to its surroundings.
What would cause something like this?
It has to be more than just a virus outbreak. Like a meteor hitting the Earth, or several large-scale volcanic eruptions.
Yeah, aliens.
Did you hear anything when you were stationed at base? Surely the military would have known something about this situation.
A couple of our fighter prototypes had left base and were headed to the main station in Chernobyl. We received a message from the pilots several kilometers from their final destination saying that they had flown into an electronically charged fog and that something was interfering with their instruments. Once they reached the coastal region, their communications started to break. All we could decipher was something about there being nothing left of the entire eastern seaboard. It was gone. Then we lost contact.
Something like an atomic bomb?
We detected a level of nuclear activity beyond the likes we'd ever seen. Aircraft started to disappear from radar, like they just fell out of the sky. Then complete radio silence, and the emissions began.
Jesus, those poor families. I wonder what happened to them.
cháu thì thầy rồi